The Big Island of Hawaii is like no place else on Earth. A mythical landscape born from ancient fire. A contrast of striking natural beauty and rugged, unforgiving grandeur, shaped over a millennium. But it is the Hawaiian culture that infuses this island with true magic. A people whose relentless spirit and passion has defined this land for centuries. This spirit, this place, provides the perfect setting for an event as unique as Hawaii itself.
This sport is brutal. If you drop your guard, that's when things start to go wrong.
It's physical, mental, emotional.
You're in for a long, hard day. It's really going to beat you down.
A 140.6-mile journey across water and earth, where limits are pushed far beyond their boundaries and perseverance and determination face their ultimate test.
It's just a drive and a passion to find out who you are in the end.
It's so unique that you have to experience it to actually know what it's all about.
Welcome to the toughest single day in sports. Welcome to the 2015 Ironman World Championship, presented by GoPro. 4:45 a.m., the second Saturday of October, Kailua Kona, Hawaii. The pre-dawn stillness is a false indicator of what's to come. The sun has yet to reveal the transformation that this quiet tropical town has gone through as it plays host to the Ironman World Championship, an event that has come to define endurance sport. Athletes come from every corner, having earned the opportunity to compete here with the best of the best on the legendary course of Kona. Every one of these athletes had to qualify for the event. Just getting here is a win. For nearly 40 years, they've been coming from all walks of life. More than 2,000 strong, they come to test and define themselves. One day, one race. The professional athletes make up just under 5% of the more than 2,000 competitors gathered here. The rest are called age groupers, ranging from 19 to 85 years old. Like the pros, everyone had to earn their place here in Kona. And while everybody's story is different, everyone is unified in purpose. "52-year-old former Navy SEAL Carlos Melita isn't here to win. For him, this is just an expression of who he is.
I'm not here to do this because I'm in a chair. I'm here to do this in spite of being in a chair."
Kailua Bay awakens. It's a beautiful test of your plan, your preparation, your strength, your patience, your soul. They are ready.
It is going to be a very special day for 2,500 athletes today. We know all you family and friends out there are very...
As you look down, imagine being there. Imagine getting ready. And imagine being the one. Now the start line belongs to everyone else. They may not be trying to win the race, but they have personal bests to beat, age groups to win, and overall, they have a goal. And say little now. Their bodies and minds will do the talking. Imagine what those eyes have seen and what that body can still do. It's a shared experience, a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and then a 26.2-mile marathon. We've all had days marked on our calendars, but few like this. Then it's here. This is it for them. The moment after the investment and sacrifice. By tonight, they will know if it's all been worth it. Not being sure creates the tension.
There they go, 2015 Ironman World Championship.
In Kailua Bay, the age groupers are finishing up their swim, knowing that this is a truly unique opportunity. Fans don't get a chance to play baseball in Fenway Park or throw a football in Lambeau Field. But that essentially is what they're doing. They're in the same arena as the greats. Heat, wind, lava, it's all out there in the hours that lie ahead. It takes an uncommon drive to compete here in Kona, and it's everywhere you look. Justifying this kind of effort takes a faith that goes a little beyond reason. But it is in the uncommon endeavor that the extraordinary can be discovered. That is certainly the case for athlete number 147, Steve Walker. Steve is ending his swim, and nothing really gets your attention in these pictures until you see that he is tethered to another triathlete. Well, it's because he's legally blind from a disease that has robbed 97% of his sight, and one day that'll be 100%. Today, he and his partner will try and do the Ironman World Championship together.
My journey into darkness is just my journey, and I think it's the test that I was just meant to go through. All I can do is just take it day at a time, and fortunately, Casey and Jordan, my family and friends, they're there to help me along the way. And I'm fortunate to stumble across this sport of triathlon that has re-sparked a whole bunch of spots in my soul and in my heart that I thought were gonna die.
As the professional men fight it out for a championship at the front, there is no less exhilaration near the back. The age group athletes bring as much passion and inspiration as the pros do. Sometimes more. Athlete number 1232 is Derek Fitzgerald. You'd never know it to look at him, but he's a cancer survivor and underwent a heart transplant in 2011, which begs the question, how do you get from heart transplant to this?
I was 200 pounds, out of shape, overweight, and coming out of my heart transplant, I went down to 128 pounds. I completely atrophied. And so I literally started by crawling out of bed, falling to the floor, and crawling from one side of my bedroom and back. For all intents and purposes, I shouldn't be here. But great things can happen if you forget about the mountain that you have to climb, and you just focus on the very next step. Because over time, those little steps add up to something pretty amazing. I'm living proof of it.
Amazing is the word for you, Derek Fitzgerald. Racing today with someone else's heart in your chest. Coming close to loss is the only way to know, honestly, just how much there is to lose. For Tammy Nicholson, October 10th is a date she will always remember. It's not just today's date, but 11 years ago, on this day, she almost lost everything.
I don't know, I guess I don't really think of myself as like different. It's just out there racing. You would never know that I've dealt with some of the things that I've had to deal with over the past 11 years. That's a big part of my journey. I don't know that that really makes me different from anybody.
Tammy was 19 years old and was returning to school in Salt Lake after a weekend. Halfway home, she ended up rolling her car into the median. Rolled 3 times, it ejected her, and she laid 20 feet from the car when help arrived.
Initially, we didn't know anything. Is she gonna be okay? We don't know. Will she ever walk again? We don't know.
It was categorized as a severe brain injury. That's tough. That's scary.
All of a sudden I woke up and I was in a hospital room. Broke my nose, broke my first rib, had a grade 5 AC joint separation, broke my pelvis, tore both MCLs, tore my right ACL. And I had a severe traumatic brain injury. It's one of those things that I still deal with. To be able to run and to be able to bike and swim, it's like it's a gift, you know, it's my second shot. With Ironman, more than anything, it becomes a pretty emotional day just because I always think about where I've been and what I've gone through to get to this point. 11 years ago, you tell me that I'm competing against 2,000 of the best athletes. On 11 years to the day, like, there's no way I would have believed you. Maybe now I'll celebrate October 10th as the day I did Kona, not the day I got in the accident. That would be awesome.
Age group athletes continue to pound away, including athlete number 143, actor Sean Astin. He starred in the movie The Goonies, Lord of the Rings, and was best known for Rudy, a Notre Dame football player that lacked talent but had a huge heart. It seems like that's exactly the role he's playing today.
Because I've lived my whole life making movies and having people see the movies and TV shows I'm in and being public in that way, where do you go at different phases of your life to establish the next moment of who you are? And the amazing thing about Ironman is that it requires no one else. No director has to say he's right for this. I can do it myself. I put on my shoes, I go outside, and I run. I get to say who I am. I am a triathlete. I like the identity of being an Ironman triathlete. That's badass.
In that same category is Derek Fitzgerald, cancer survivor, heart transplant recipient, and now here today doing this. The road that leads here, transition, back to where it all started, but it's far from over. There is no amount of preparation that can effectively dictate the outcome of a race like this. All the training these athletes have done leading up to this race is an effort to minimize failure. It's up to fate, really, or whatever you believe in, that decides who will achieve success and be able to call themselves an Ironman. Tammy Nicholson wants that 11 years to the day when doctors told her she may never walk again. And Steve Walker wants that too in this race that allows him to exceed limitations.
Ironman and triathlon has been a big awakening of my strength and what I'm capable of.
Awakening strength, discovering capabilities. That's what makes the effort of all these miles matter. But the race is far from over. There are thousands of dreams still out there. They want to hear the words, "You are an Ironman." That's something actor Sean Astin has been thinking about for 114.4 miles. And he knows today does not run by script. And then there's athlete number 1232, Derek Fitzgerald, who never dared to think he could be here.
One of the things that my doctor told me was, Derek, you've been given a third chance, cancer, heart failure, then a transplant. And a lot of people would see that as a reason to lock themselves in a room and say, this is it. I got to protect this. That's not why I've been given this heart. I've been given this heart to enjoy life and everything there is in it.
Someone died to give Derek Fitzgerald life. There's a responsibility that comes with that. The stories come at you in droves. One is told by a former Navy SEAL, Carlos Melita. A pioneer on this course, Carlos shattered the notion of what it meant to be an Ironman when he overcame being wounded as a Navy SEAL and first raced here almost 20 years ago, winning the physically challenged divisions in 1998 and 99. Today, he hopes to become the oldest hand cycle champion ever. The sun is going down, and one of the greatest traditions in sports is about to begin. To some people, it's their favorite time of day. In Ironman, it means you've been doing this race for a long time. About 9 hours. Everyone has until midnight to finish, but that's it. From now until then, the finish line becomes a humanity display of every emotion imaginable. And when you see it, you know what's important when they cross that line. Elation, celebration, triumph. It's all there. Throw in the mysticism of the island and you have something truly special. That's what Tammy Nicholson is fighting for. She knows all too well what it's like on the sidelines. She wants this comeback to be complete. And so does Carlos Melita. His intentions to overcome are obvious.
And being, in this environment, it makes me feel alive. It makes me feel equal to everybody. It makes me feel like that I'm not disabled.
Accomplishment, greatness, effort, emotion, with every step. Tammy Nicholson's family waits. They know what's gone into this moment. And then, there she is. 11 years to the day, a different person. Carlos Melita has done it again.
Carlos Melita, you did it. You are an Ironman again.
People are always asking me, when are you going to stop? When are you going to stop doing that? It's like you want me to stop living. Why would I do that? If I can do this when I'm 70, I'll probably be doing it. This is what brings me happiness.
The clock never stops and midnight approaches. Everyone crunches their own personal time.
Still got time. I can still win this.
Not all endings are happy.
So I just want to confirm that you're ready to end your race.
Yep.
Okay.
I think if I keep this up, I can make it. It's going to be close. but I'll make it. Just don't stop.
It's the belief that never dies. For Sean Astin, this is not a movie.
I played Rudy, an everyman guy. And if you sort of go, if the guy who clearly was not born with the genetic disposition to excel in this particular sport can do it, I feel like I can do it myself.
Then there's Steve Walker, who can't even see the finish line. By finishing something like this, his little girl will never look at things the same. She'll never know can't.
My first priority is Jordan. She keeps me calm and she keeps me sane. I'm trying to show her there's always going to be something that's trying to slow you down. But if your passion exceeds what appears to be an obstacle, you're going to win every time.
For the rest of my life, I'll know that I did that, and no one can ever take it away.
And there's Derek Fitzgerald. Cancer and a heart transplant. From crawling out of bed to the elusive finish line.
If there's anything that I can do to honor my donor, honor the people that didn't make it as far as I have, and to find a way to give back and pay it forward all at the same time, that's what brought me to Ironman.